It's doing all right. I am so impressed with the running right now. That's incredible. Selfie mode, let's go. Look at this. What? Insane. It actually works all right. It doesn't look terrible. How does that? Look at that thing, it's insane. Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Learn Real Estate Photography. I'm Will, and today we've got an awesome one for you. So I'm here actually right now. You just saw in the video that I passed through the gates of Canterwood, which is this incredible private golf course sort of area, very gated community, fancy sort of pinky out vibe. The homes in here are super luxury. They're always really dialed in, and I'm working with one of my favorite clients today. It should be a really good time. The plan today is to grab my gear, head inside, get the house prepped and ready, get shooting, capture some dope shots, get some creative shots, and then I actually brought one of my favorite new lenses that I have with me, and we can kind of cruise around the golf course and kind of snag some shots with that one. It's the Sony 100-400 G Master. It is an incredible lens. I'm actually going to try and balance it on the gimbal, so it should be a really good time. We'll see if that works out. This is going to be really fun. My friend Mac is going to be showing up. He goes by ClaymoreMac. He's an incredible photographer, videographer out of the Seattle area. He also does yoga and stuff like that. We've done a podcast together that I got to drop, but he'll be here as well doing the Matterport. So we're doing photo, we're doing video, we're doing Matterport. Super high price point home. It's going to be an incredible journey. So let's jump into it. So we made it inside. This place is really cute, totally dialed in. They did a lot of staging and it looks incredible. So when I first get to a house, the first thing I like to do is walk through all the different rooms just to kind of get a feel for the flow of the home, make sure all the pillows are looking correct and great, standing to attention, all nicely pointed. All the lights are on, everything just looks super good. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, just going through. One tip I'd love to offer you guys is that if you can find clients that get the home staged and vacant, I would really recommend it because those are always the most fun and the easiest shoots. You don't have to like chit chat with the homeowners. You know, it's always just so much better when you can show up, the house looks incredible, you get to shoot, focus on your artwork, getting your best shots and doing your best creatively, and then you can take off. It's always the best way to go. So if you run into clients like that, I would say do your best to keep them because they're always personally my favorite. So definitely recommend them to you guys too. And just on a time level, I feel like if I have a shoot like this and I'm not making a video for you guys, I'm just running solo, it can take an extra half hour. If I'm spending time talking to the homeowners, getting to know them, which is awesome, and like, I love to do it. But at the same time, if I have a bunch of shoots scheduled on a certain day, it's really nice just to be able to run in, get it done, and get out. So definitely recommend vacant shoots. You can just get in and get out. It's awesome. Now that everything is prepped and ready, it's time for the good stuff, which is setting up the gear, getting shoot. As per usual, I'll be rocking the Sony a7S III. For real estate, it's honestly perfect. It does great photos, great video, incredible low light. And then of course the lens I've got is the 16-35. The 16 is perfect for just like your standard shots from the corners of the rooms to kind of show how wide everything is. And the 35 is really nice when you want to zoom in on like certain textures. I've also got the circular polarizer on here, and that's going to be really nice when I'm doing stuff like making sure that the reflections from the floor kind of come back. Really great setup. I'm gonna be shooting HDR 3-shot. When I'm shooting outside, I've got the Mavic 3 Pro. This drone is an absolute beast. The 3 different lenses that it's got are incredible. Got the RC Pro. And then what I'm really excited about is after I finish shooting inside, I wanna bust out this bad boy, the 100-400 G. It is an incredible lens, so sharp, looks so good. And for something like this, a place like this where everything is basically on a golf course, so we'll get some great shots of people golfing, the clubhouse, and all that good stuff to be able to include in the video, because when I'm selling a home, I'm not only selling the space that they're going to be living in, but also the lifestyle and the community that they'll be in, right? So they definitely want to show and share off as much as possible so the agent can effectively use that when they're selling, and that means they'll come back to me again and again and again. So yes. And then I'll be running the DJI Ronin RS3 Pro. This one's great. And then I've got an awesome little small rig side handle on there that's currently missing a screw, but we won't talk about that right now. So that's a rough breakdown of the gear that I've got today. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'll get it all set up right now. All right, guys, so Mac has just joined us. He's here. Mac, do you want to show the sunrise shots?
Oh yeah, let's get that.
So Mac today woke up at 4:30 a.m. and went to Mount Rainier to get some dope shots. Yes. So gorgeous. Show the one with Archer in it. This is his dog, Archer.
Let me get.
Look at that happy dog. All right, so Mac will be rocking the Matterport, which is the 3D scanner. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It's really cool. So that people who aren't necessarily in the area can like virtually walk through the house. Okay, so normally you don't want to stand in front of it, but we're gonna do that right now just so you guys can see what it looks like when you use a Matterport. Then once it's done scanning, it'll like populate, it processes, and then populates up on the map. Just like this, it aligns it. So it looks something like this, like a full 3D image. There's that. So good. And so a normal house of this size will probably end up being like what, like 50 to 69 scans or something. So that's generally what we aim for.
Depends on how many I scan, you know, like scale a lot.
So, and then if you have a larger home, it ends up being like 70 or 80 scans total. It's an awesome add-on. I highly recommend it. It's usually the more premium agents that like to do it. So if you guys are looking to up your photo and video game, I highly recommend getting into the Matterport world. So Matterporting is really cool, and there's a lot of like intricacies to it and a lot of different ways to do it. If you guys want a tutorial, like let us know in the comments below. I'm happy to create a full one, but Matt was saying especially like some homes can be more quick to scan than other homes depending on how intricate or how much furniture they have. So homes that are like totally empty can go by really fast because you can just fly through them. But homes where there's a lot of mirrors or a lot of like little rooms and stuff like that, a lot of furniture, you gotta like go more slowly, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you have to mark it too. So you have to mark mirrors, you have to trim, you have to mark windows. I mean, a lot of that just helps like reduce the cutoff. And then you also have to, as Will was saying, the layout of the house, you have to make sure that it picks up everything. So sometimes if there's a table in the way, you have to do a scan on both sides.
Right, so while Mac is going over there and capturing the Matterports, my game plan is to start at the front of the home. The cookbook recipe that I usually go with is front door open, get that shot. Then I fly to the living room, capture those shots. Then I'll go to the dining room, then the kitchen over here, this secondary living room, and then go to the bedrooms back there. Along the way, I'll be capturing photo and video the whole time. Again, the HDR, the 3-shot HDR is the way I like to go for photos. For the video, I do 4K 24. I think it looks really great. Let's get to it. My general approach when I'm shooting is that photos, I'm gonna try and get a ton of photos from a lot of different angles. And then with video, I like to be a lot more selective and just capture kind of like the higher end, like really cinematic textural type stuff, but still include a lot of like wides to show off the space. So kind of like that ratio when it comes to doing photo versus video while I'm doing real estate. Another reason I love to zoom in over to 35 or 28 is that it really helps connect the different rooms together with video. So while I'm shooting this one, I know that I'm gonna wanna go to the dining room over here, right? And so I'll zoom into 35, get a little bit of foreground from the lamp and the chair right here, and kind of connect it with the focus being on the dining room over there. And that helps bring the viewer on that tour and helps them connect as if they're walking through the home themselves. It's a very natural, but also like artistic sort of way of looking at it. Actually, one of the things that's so great about this home being so dark is that it gives me an opportunity to drop the aperture down to f4. And now when it's at f4, or if you could get to f2.8, depending on the lens you're using, it creates that nice bokeh, the out of focus areas, and really adds like a cinematic touch to the video, which can be like really amazing and clients always seem to love. So if you can do that, I highly recommend that as well. One big thing to look out for when you guys are shooting is of course, mirrors, reflections, and shadows. So with this situation, you've got this mirror right here. So as I'm shooting in this corner, it would be really easy to end up just popped right in there. Also, you can see we have a nice bright light coming from behind me, so I'm gonna be casting shadows here, right? So as I'm shooting, I wanna make sure that I'm not getting myself in that mirror or in this shadow if the lens is too wide. Not every shoot goes perfectly, and right now, Mac is experiencing that. He's trying to scan the Matterport and mirror is giving him a hard time, so let's get the update over here. So the Matterport doesn't like big mirrors. You have to mark them when you're going through the home, and then it's not sure if it's another room or like what's going on with it. So it can really get tripped up easily. And so right now, I guess we're trying to problem solve here. So you tried to scan right here already?
Look, I have 12 right here. That 13's right there. I try to scan here, and I try to scan
like that, routing it?
No, it just says scan 11.
Did you scan like even closer here?
Yeah.
So normally you can like jump from like one scan point to the next scan point, but when mirrors are involved, sometimes it can get tricky. So we're trying to like baby step it and go from like one scan point here to just like one over here. So it'll grab on the app. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, typically I like to do 3 scans in each bedroom, 1 at the center and then 2 on each side, so you can see around the bed.
Ooh, I grabbed it. There we go.
Nice.
Back to photo and video world. And as I was walking through the home, I did notice that while the rest of the home is kind of dated, the kitchen looks like it's been updated recently. They have like really nice countertops. The cupboards and everything look really nice. All the appliances are awesome. So what I'm saying is if there's an area of the home that you're filming or shooting, don't be afraid to spend a little more time on the areas that have been updated and look a little bit better, because that's definitely what they're going to use to... Did it work back? Sounds like the Matterport's getting going. But yeah, if there's an area of the home that's looking better, don't be afraid to spend more time on it, because the agent will definitely want to show that off to potential buyers. Okay, I'm finished shooting in the kitchen, this main living room. The next stop is just a quick pop out to the backyard to show the back patio before going back inside. So they've got this cute patio area that's connected to the kitchen. Definitely want to show that off. I'm not going to show the whole backyard right now, but I definitely want to capture just the sort of the vibe off of the kitchen, right? So come out here. I'll adjust my settings a little bit to make sure the white balance is correct. So you can see inside my settings were looking like this. You can see how it looks so bad outside, right? So the first thing I'm gonna do is go to F7 right there. I'm gonna drop my ISO down to kind of get the correct exposure, which should be around approximately there, and already it's looking a lot better. Next step is to adjust my white balance. Inside I was using fluorescent warm white. Out here I'm gonna be using daylight. I'm gonna open this up from 35 to 16, and it looks so much better. And these will kind of be the good settings that I'll be using out here. So as I'm shooting, one of the things that I'm doing is kind of looking at cool stuff that I can use as foreground. So this will be a great foreground element to introduce the backyard, right? So I can kind of go like this. It can fly up from that. By having the foreground element, it creates a sense of depth to the image. It also adds a pop of color, which is really nice. It looks like a little bit of a lens flare if I can get the right angle through here. So I might jump on that with the main camera. Generally, it looks really incredible. And I can see through the trees. You can't see it on camera, but I can see through the trees that there's a cart path for golf carts, because it looks like the golf course is right there. So quick tip for you guys. Right now, when I was shooting the lens flare shot of the maple leaves to the tree, I wanted to make sure that the focus was like really perfectly sharp on the leaves of the tree. For this, what I did was set it to autofocus. I made sure that the focus point was on one of the leaves, and then as I'm like rotating around it, then it's able to stay perfectly tracked on that leaf, and you still get like the beautiful starburst of the lens flare coming through, but the focus is so sharp, it looks so good. So make sure that you know when to use manual and automatic focus kind of like most effectively for what you're trying to capture. We're back inside now to capture the main bedroom, and you can see that the settings from outside look absolutely horrendous inside. So I got to make sure to adjust before getting shooting again. One of the cool features of this bedroom, of course, is the big 4-post bed. So what I like to do is get a little zoomed in like this. We'll see if I can get it with the vlog camera, and you get kind of a shot like this that gives it that sort of depth effect, and you feel like you're basically sitting on the bed. Then you've got this cool sitting area, and then that'll flow to that. So just getting a few different angles. Nice wide one like this. Got a nice straight on one like this, and the zoomed in one. Then a little bit later, I'll show off the back area. For a bathroom like this, one of the big things to look out for is not being in the mirror. Also not being in a reflection of the mirror. Or because we have kind of like spotlights above us, you don't want to be in the shadow. Perhaps you're like casting a shadow over this, right? So just being extremely careful as you're shooting is going to be really important. So you want to kind of play those angles as much as is necessary to get it. And then if you want to get close-ups, you just got to be Instead of being like this when you get the close-up, you want to be like this sort of thing. So I'm working on getting a shot through this double doorway action over here, but I noticed that this door doesn't open anymore. So if you go on the back, you can see that there's these little turny things, and you just turn it and it gives you a little bit more openness on the door. So that way, when you go like this, the door opens a bit more. Of course, you want to make sure it's not going to break anything, but knowing these little secrets like that back little piece right there to getting the shot you want. Okay, we're nearing the tail end of the shoot. Mac has finished everything inside, and one thing with the Matterport is that you've got to do 360 scans outside as well. How many scans total, Mac?
46.
46. So nice. 23 shy of the perfect number, but close enough. Okay, so here's what the final Matterport actually looks like. You have all of these scan points, and most of them are going to be the 3D scans, but then you have the couple at the front door, the garage, the backyard that are going to be the 360 scans. So with this one is 2,500 square foot home, we ended up with about 46 scans, and that will be transformed into a cool 3D model. All right, dope. Thanks, Mac.
Thanks. Hikes Place yesterday. Support local.
Support local. What is
$3 or something?
Mac must be in Slytherin because he's got the snake.
Little
pinky earring.
Copper thing.
It's ball.
One of those jewelry that I repurposed for a men's pinky ring.
Let's go. All right, y'all. Mac is done. Gotta say, he does a great job. He's really, really skilled in the Matterport. He's really skilled at interacting with clients and is just a great guy. Very dependable, super awesome. So I'd recommend if you're a real estate photographer out there, make sure you network, meet some great friends, connect with great colleagues because it can be really valuable in your experience, right? So anyways, I'm out here, all done inside. Now it's time to capture the exterior shots. So I like to get just some awesome front of house shots. I also like to get a shot with the door open, so we'll make sure to get that. But yeah, I'll just work my way through, capturing just kind of like the beautiful, natural sort of vibe of this home. I'll make sure to get a really cool shot of the post here. The walkway coming up is pretty nice, so I'll make sure to get shots of those, and then we'll go to the backyard. So definitely the vibe of this house is that it's more set back. It's got a very mature sort of landscaping feel that's very like kind of dim and dark, and there's a lot of moss everywhere. So I found this cool angle right here that shows the front walkway like this. And I think this will be a really, really nice shot. So I'm gonna set up and get that. I'll probably zoom into 35 here just to get more of like a well-framed shot with this above, this down below, and this kind of like walkway in the front. We got this cool mossy path in front of me. I don't know if you can see here, kind of like leads down to the backyard. So what I'll do is get down real low with the camera and get a shot that's kind of like this, right? That shows the walkway to kind of introduce the backyard. And from there, we'll get all the stuff over here, a few shots of the patio on that side, and then we'll pop over to the golf course up there. With all the ground shots finished up, it's time for the drone. So when I'm getting my drone shots, my general idea is that I want to make sure that my settings are as correct as possible before taking off so I don't have to mess with them too much. So right now it's pretty dark, so I'll go through and brighten things up. And I'll switch to my video setting. Video already looks pretty decent. Something like that should be good. And I make sure that I've got satellites. Right now it's connecting to all the different satellites right now. And I'm gonna do my best just to get some amazing shots. I know, like I said, that the golf course is right on the other side, so maybe I can get some cool shots where I'm flying through the trees, over the house. I like to get a shot straight down, showing the house and the property laid out. I know the mountain is probably gonna be out, so somewhere off in the distance, I think Mount Rainier will be popping up, so I'll get some cool shots of that. Just do my best to get some amazing shots. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The drone shots, I am not super psyched about. I did a great job flying. Everything looks pretty good, but the house itself is really set back with a lot of trees. And so it was really difficult to get like that incredible, perfect front of house shot. So we'll see how it did. I'm not super pumped on it. I was able to get a really beautiful shot of the mountain. That looked amazing. I got some great shots of the golf course right behind the home. That was cool. I got a really cool shot where I kind of flew in over the golf course to the back of the home. And I think that'll probably be the main shot, but you know, you try your best and sometimes you succeed and sometimes they look just okay. Hopefully the client is still gonna be pumped, but at the end of the day, if they don't love it, I can always come back out. One tip I do wanna share with the drones is that when you are trying to get like a really long shot, I was facing way farther away, kind of flew back in and like kind of down into the house. What I did was I put it to auto shutter, and you can change to auto ISO, auto shutter, but just having it automatically adjust as you're flying in can be a really, really cool shot. And if you're on like a manual exposure, you know, your starting point and your ending point can be like wildly different in terms of exposure levels, right? So that's just a little tip that I'd like to give you guys to take with you. Anyways, the shoot is done. I did a great job. I'm really pumped. Mac really was super helpful, helped me finish it really fast. Now the next step is to go through and turn off all the lights and make sure all the doors are locked, and then we can kind of walk the pathway a little bit. And I'm gonna bust out the 100 to 400 lens and see what I can do in terms of getting just some gorgeous nature, community shots of people doing cool stuff at the golf course. So let's do it now. Okay, so I'm actually gonna see if I can balance the 100 to 400 lens on the gimbal here. So I'm gonna put it in time-lapse mode. We'll see what we can get. It'd be cool if we can. If not, I can always just hand hold it, hope for the best with the in-body image stabilization and see what we get. Okay, look at this Frankenstein monster. I do have it actually a little bit stable. It's not so bad. It looks absolutely insane. I only have it zoomed out to 200 right now. So, okay, let's see when we turn it on if it freaks out or not. Oh my God, it worked. It worked. Look at that. Oh my God, insane. Okay, I'm gonna try and stabilize it. So we'll go start calibration. Is it gonna go absolutely insane? Let's find out. It's doing all right. I am so impressed with the Ronin right now. That's incredible. Selfie mode, let's go. Look at this. What? Insane. It actually works all right. It doesn't look terrible. How does that? Look at that thing, it's insane. Love it. Okay, all right, let's go out and get some cool shots with it. All right, I'm out here on the golf course and this thing is insanely heavy. It actually works, and I just got a cool shot of the golf flag, but I'm getting such an arm workout right now. It's insane, bro. Okay, let's see what else I can get with this thing. So what I'm noticing is that it's got a lot of like sway to it because the motors are having to like compensate and overcompensate and recompensate. But generally it looks pretty good because when it's combined with the, I think the image stabilization that the Sony has, and I think the lens has a bit of stabilization as well. Yeah, it's right here. It kind of works, so it's pretty cool. It is really weird because I'm just not used to being able to see with a gimbal things that are so far away, right? Usually it's like all things that are really wide, but it's working out. So I'm just gonna get back to my car and cruise around and see if I can get some more cool shots with this thing. Well guys, thanks again for taking the time to join me on the shoot today. Hope you had a really good time. It was really fun sharing everything with you, from the good, the bad, the creative, all that fun stuff. So if you learned something, if you had a good time, please leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.